introduction. And just a minute. Is the presentation visible?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yes. Now, I hope it is visible now.
Coming up.
Coming up.
Okay, visible now.
Okay. So आजचा टॉपिक आपला आहे simple techniques to be healthy. I will be speaking in Marathi and English at times because a few words are better understood in Marathi. So health is our asset and it is perhaps our only asset. Without this asset, all other assets of ours carry no meaning. I think there is some background noise. Okay, so in order to appreciate this asset of our health, it is only dependent on our own activities and knowledge. So we must take good care of our health, the only asset which we have. And this is
Okay.
And this is indeed possible by taking some simple measures on a daily basis. So let us begin by understanding what exactly do we mean by health or a healthy body. A healthy body can be simply defined as one which is able to perform our own daily activities, is in no pain of any kind, and all the bodily parameters satisfy statistical standards. This is a very basic way in which we can, so to say, describe health. Of course, human body has got virtually no limits. It can be trained to excel in so many dimensions. We know dancers, they are able to move in a fashion which a normal man cannot, because they have received special training. So by taking different kind of training, we can excel in many directions. But in general, some basic things have to be followed in order to stay healthy. So the basic parameters of health are as enumerated in the slide. And if we are able to do that, then we can consider ourselves healthy. So to become healthy, our body needs several factors to be understood. The first one being nourishment. Second is exercise, work, rest, mental peace, sleep. And the last but not the least important is bath. How do we take a bath? But in today's presentation, we shall look at only the first factor, which is of prime importance, namely the nourishment factor. All other factors are important, but they begin with nourishment. So, nourishment is provided by the air we breathe, or the water we drink, or the food we consume. This is a common fact and everybody knows it. But the most important thing which we often tend to forget, or which has not been emphasized to us, is the quantity, quality, and the timing of all these three factors. If these three are combined together, then they result in very good health. So this is one of the topics which we will be discussing today, as to how we should consume air, how should we drink water, and what are the factors that we should consider while eating our food. So let us begin by looking at what is breath. So breath is something which is required on a second to second basis. We cannot live without breath for more than few minutes, except a few trained yogis who were said to live without air or breath for months on end, but nobody has seen them in practice. But a common man cannot live without air for more than few minutes. Water he can survive for a few days without it, and food maybe for a month. So it is very important that we look at how we breathe, because it is required on a second to second basis. So what happens is, when we breathe in air, it gets into the lungs, wherein it exchanges its oxygen with the incoming impure blood, which in turn gets purified, and then toxins are exchanged, and the foul air is thrown back or exhaled. The most important factor over here is that we should breathe through our nose, because the nose is such that it is designed to trap pollutants, designed to trap dust, designed to trap microbes, and it warms the air. So while we breathe in air, all these non-required factors are bypassed or stopped from entering into the lungs. We often find that elderly people, they breathe through the mouth, and breathing through the mouth can be very, very dangerous, can cause infections. That is why I have emphasized this factor over here, that we should breathe in through the nose. Breathing through the nose also has an esoteric factor. That means it has got some spiritual importance, which we will not touch in this program. But for its own reasons, we should consider nasal breathing as of importance, and we should cultivate the ability to breathe through the nose continuously, especially when we are sleeping. So the first tip of the day is that if we are not breathing through our nose at times, please try to cultivate the practice of breathing through the nose. It is one of the elixirs we can find, as is claimed in the yoga. Excuse me, I will have some water. Then as this air enters into the lungs, this air is supposed to spread into the entire volume of the lungs. But when we are stressed, or we are by default we are not in a practice of what is known as a diaphragmatic breathing. That means while we take every breath, we do not fill the entire lungs with the air, and only a part of the lungs gets filled with the pure air which is incoming. See, what happens is, during every cycle of heart, blood is pumped into the lungs, and it is spread over the entire surface area of the lungs. You can imagine the blood being spread over a balloon-like thing all over its surface, and only a part of the balloon or the lungs is provided with fresh air, and because of which what happens is, during the next cycle, only the part of the blood which is subjected to the pure air gets purified and returns back, while the impure blood also goes back into the circulation. And what it happens is, we sorry. What happens is our organs progressively get less and less oxygen, which is called as a hypoxia. So what it means is, because we are not employing the complete capacity of our lungs during every breath, our body suffers from less amount of oxygen breath by breath. And this is something which we, so to say, sophisticated men or women have neglected for a long time. Children or babies, you will find they breathe with full vigor, and they breathe through their entire lungs. So all the blood which has been put into all the impure blood which has been put into the lungs is purified every breath, and because of which it will send maximum amount of oxygenated blood into the circulation. So the first thing we should practice is what is known as diaphragmatic breathing. What it means is, you breathe in by making your lungs swell out, literally, and full amount of full volume of the lungs has to be oxygenated. So once we take care of that, then what happens is maximum purification of blood takes place. And this maximum purification, while it is being done, it also moves the diaphragm up and down, and which in turn causes the abdominal organs to be massaged. So organs of liver, pancreas, and spleen, especially, and abdomen, and the stomach, they are, so to say, massaged and stimulated. And yoga says that by diaphragmatic breathing, we can enhance the capacity of these organs greatly. So try this complete breathing for a month, and you will have wonderful difference in your health. Very simple to practice, but it takes a little practice. Just a minute.